It is Monday. It's about 5:30. Total chaos here. My daughter's dog and Kimber playing, roughhousing. All right, back to it. So, you know, we've just had a string of bad luck here between trees being down on the fence, and we had, you know, we lost a couple of cows that we're still trying to find. The tractor wasn't running. The four-wheeler had some problems. Then I find out that the John Deere Z525E had some issues. So my son-in-law was mowing the yard. He started hearing some really loud vibrations, and then all of a sudden, instantly, some really, really loud noises. He shut it down, and lo and behold, there was some major damage done. And what I'm gonna tell you is the E on the Z525E stands for extremely cheap. And I guess that's what happens when you buy a John Deere from one of the box stores. So let me show you what has happened here. I thought this had a pretty thick deck on it, but I don't know if you can see this or not. But that one pulley has metal fatigue at the base of it, and there's a lot of strength on that one pulley. That's where the tensioner is and everything, but the base of the pulley has in essence snapped off. It is like broke. When it did break, it caused both of the covers, the pulley covers, to break off. But look at this. It split the deck all the way across. I don't even know if this is salvageable. So I've got a mower here that is in essence just a little bit over a year old. I mean, maybe 1.5 seasons, I don't know. Knock on wood, up to this point, it's been great. But so looking at a few YouTube videos, I guess there's a lot of decks that are relatively cheap, and this happens fairly often. But so what am I gonna do? Well, the plan right now is I'm gonna take the deck out. And when I take the deck out, I'm going to research it a little bit, get it up on a countertop where I can get off the floor, see what we have, take it apart, take all of these spindles off of it. Say hello to Kimber and Sadie. It's like a WW cage match around here. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take it off, get it up on a workbench where I can see it. I can inspect these cracks. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. So I'm sure there's probably a good chance that it bent the deck. There's probably a good chance that the blades are bent underneath it from hitting everything. Just high-speed wobble and destruction. So very, very, very disappointed that we had metal fatigue on that deck, and we keep it clean religiously. After every mowing, we blow out the little deals. You can see there's no real debris trapped down underneath here. That should have never happened. So I'm extremely frustrated. We're gonna find out what the story is, get it up where I can see it. But you know, I looked real quickly online, and you can buy a whole new deck with everything ready to go, but it's like $1,000. Give me a break, John Deere. I mean, you know, John Deere green, color of money, I guess. But maybe I need to buy stock in John Deere. But you know, when you got a mower, I mean, you're gonna tell me the deck is X% of that mower? I'm highly disappointed. So anyway, I'm gonna get this thing out and see what's going on. Luckily, I can weld, not as good as the guy who welded my fence post, but I can damn sure well weld the underside of a deck that nobody's gonna see. But still, just frustrating that I have to do that repair. What do you think, Kimber? What do you think? I know, I feel the frustration. More to follow. Okay guys, well, we got the deck off. So let me show you, if you ever need to take a deck on one of these John Deere mowers, let me show you how to do it here. Hold on one second, I'm fighting a bumblebee. Oh, comedy relief. All right, so if you're ever taking one of these off, what you gotta do is on the side here, there is a pin up at the front, right here that you take off. There's a pin right back here at the back of this. You just knock the pin out. It's got a little Carter pin on it. Take it out, take a screwdriver and hammer, pop it out. One on the back, one on the front. This is what you have on the front that holds it in place. Pop that out and you're good to go. On this side, you can kind of see the same thing. So this is your mechanism to actually level the deck. You can also see right here where you take them out. Well, let's see how bad the damage is. And it's pretty substantial. The good news, this is Kimber. Kimber's very concerned about this project. She wants to be highly involved with her buddy Sadie here. But all right, the good news, if there is good news, is the deck appears to be level. So when you look at it sitting on the concrete, there's no daylight shining under it. Let me show you some of the bad news. That is a pretty good crack right there. This crack right here is all the way through the metal. This came over here, you got multiple cracks. I need to take this belt off, see what I got. Man, but this is where things start to get a little bad. You can see this bracket right here is definitely not level. You can see where the bracket was actually burning into the metal right here. I'm surprised it still spins, but no bueno. I don't know if we can even get down and see underneath here to see what's going on, but we definitely have something happening. Let's see, but so we'll try to get this figured out. Man, they got little honeybees flying around today. But not good. Not good at all, said the man. The good news is this side of the deck appears to be pretty decent, but that side right there has major damage. There's probably 18 inches of welding that needs to happen on that corner. All right, more to follow. Well, here is an update. So we have the Z525E deck removed from the mower. And boy, I tell you what, I would have gave this mower incredibly high ratings until this little fiasco. So it's bad. It's not good. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I'm not gonna spend $1,000 to buy a whole complete deck assembly. I'm just not going to do it. So, what have I done? Well, we took everything apart to see how bad the damage is. And right here is the culprit. Right here is where all of the problems started. This is not a blade. This is actually the where the pulley system works, which keeps all of the tension on the belt. So this right here is the main thing. And I don't know if this was just metal fatigue. You can see the welds actually held up, but it ripped the metal outside of it. So for the life of me, and I think I know the reason, but this metal is pretty thin. I mean, let's face it, guys. They're trying to keep costs down, probably made in China. But they could have came in here with a little piece of heavier metal welded in to give support. Lucky this one didn't break. This is also a pulley for the belts over here. Luckily that one is still intact. You can see there's nothing wrong with that one. But when this one pulled out or did whatever it did, it caused evidently the blade to go up just enough on that side, probably threw everything into a harmonic disbalance. And I don't know if that's a real word or not. Sounded impressive, harmonic disbalance. And AKA high-speed wobble. But anyway, when that happened, look at this. I mean, you can tell the blade must have hit a few times up here. It got it. You can see it ripped a crack all the way across here, ripped a crack all the way up there. It's even coming over to here. So here is my plan of attack, what I'm thinking. I don't know. What am I thinking? Mama said there'd be days like this. That's what I'm really thinking. But see, John Deere did pretty good. I mean, they came in here and welded some rebar on the corners where people have a tendency to bang them up. But to do that and to be that cheap, let's see if I can flip this over or we can look at it. Bear with me. Being a one-handed video guy is not good. Okay, so here's the underside and where we were at. So right here is the culprit on the top side. But look how John Deere engineers, come on, man. You could have very easily put a thicker plate of metal just in that one spot, and it might have cost you an extra $2 per unit. Give me a freaking break. But this over here is the side that had all the damage. You can see right here, the crack all the way through it. You can see right there, pretty good little deal. So the plan is, I'm gonna come in here with a grinding wheel, wire brush. I'm gonna clean up all the areas where I'm gonna have to weld. I'm gonna take this area right here, heat it up with a heating torch on the top side and tap it back down to see if I can get it flush. Hopefully I can. There's a lot riding on that. So I need to get that flush, get it straightened up, and then I'm going to put a little piece of flat metal in here. I'm gonna weld it, and then I'm gonna weld a small little piece of flat metal on top of it to give it a little more strength. Over here on this side, I think I'm just gonna weld from the bottom, but then I'm gonna flip it over, and on the top, I'm actually going to probably add some metal on the top. The other thing I'm gonna do is for each one of these 4 nuts on each one of these, I'm gonna actually add washers on the top side, not the bottom, but on the top side to give it a little bit more strength. But you know, this should just never happen. It should just absolutely not happen. Look right there. Not only did it rip it right there, you can see it was burning. Something was dragging right there that was creating heat. Almost caught it on fire, but look at that damage. But then here, you can see a little bit of a crack right through there. So, that's about all I gotta say about that is, So, here's the moral of the story and what you find out after a while. You know, people always say you get what you pay for. And that's why one of these mowers is somewhere in the neighborhood of $3,000. And then you start making steps up on the John Deere and you start going to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 14,000. And these are the differences. This is where they're cutting corners. But you know, what's frustrating on this is honestly, John Deere could have spent an extra $20 per unit and made one hell of a machine, but they elected to go cheap, and I'm calling them out. If you guys are listening, why don't you send me a new deck? I'd really appreciate it. But hey, we'll see. But this is where we're at, right there. That's the culprit, and the metal's just too thin to support that. They didn't beef it up around either one of those. That's the issue. But hey, on a positive note, I was a little worried that the actual spindles themselves were gonna be bad, but they seem to be spinning okay. They seem to be moving. That one's moving real loose. That one's a little tight, but not too bad. So I'm gonna clean them up. I'm hopeful that the spindles are not cracked. And if I'm looking at these guys correctly, I'm kind of hoping that the blades, I'm not really sure that the blades are bent. Oh, but then again, you look over here, I don't know, that's got a pretty good little, I don't know, I think that's design though. That seems to be a cast molding, but what I'll probably do, I'll probably go ahead and put 3 new blades on it. They're relatively inexpensive, and at least I know then that the blades are all harmonically balanced and should be in good shape. But all right, day 1 demo work completed. So my question to you guys, if anybody's been down this road before with a bad deck, how would you fix that? How would you support it? I think I'm definitely going to use heavier washers on the top side. I'm definitely going to try to build up my welds again around here. This one I'm hoping I can push back down somehow and get it back level and flat and get it re-welded. But I mean, come on guys. I mean, really disappointed in this, but let me know. And then look at this, how bad this looks right here. I mean, this looks terrible. So I'm hoping I can get that beefed back up or get it flattened out, if you will. I think I'm gonna approach it from the bottom, but then on the top side, I'll probably put a little piece of metal strap right across here. I'll probably put a little strip of metal across here. Just something to try to give it some stability and anchorage. Man, What a number. Could be worse, but I think this was just a case of metal fatigue. What do you guys think? I could understand if he'd hit a stump or something like that, but that was not the case. You can see the blades are all intact. It looks to me like just absolutely metal fatigue. Pulled that over. I mean, there's nothing even underneath there. That's just a pulley mount. So, frustration. Let me know what you guys think. Hey, we'll have another video down the road once we actually do the repairs, but right now I'm in that research and looking for advice stage. Please leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. I'm open for suggestions. Hey, glory be to God. Leave me a message. I will respond. If you're not a member, please click the join button and click the little bell, and you'll get similar updates. We have a wide variety of topics on this channel. Thanks.